Hey, what's going on guys? Welcome to another video, and in today's video I'm gonna teach you how to write a CV. And this video is gonna be especially for the people who don't have like any previous experience as web developers, because a lot of you guys are asking me all the time, hey Telmo, but if I never had a web developer job before, what should I put on my CV and everything? So this is what I'm gonna cover in here. Alright, so first of all, I just created this kind of template from the Google Docs, I guess. So you can get this kind of design in there. This is something that I just did quickly, and this is something that I'm doing if I was applying myself. If I was, for example, someone who is just starting out as well without any previous experience in other jobs. This is something that I would put. Okay, so let's just start with this. So first thing that is really important is to have your LinkedIn. If you don't have a LinkedIn account, you should create one. This is where a lot of companies and a lot of recruiters, they are searching for web developers. Then I would put in here my GitHub account, okay? So people, they can go in there and check what you have been working, what kind of projects have you been working on, if you are very active or not. So this is important. Your email, of course, and your portfolio website. All of these links are really important, and you should always keep them, at least these four. Then you have in here my name. You can put your name. And you should put what kind of developer you are. Are you a front-end web developer? Are you a full-stack web developer? Back-end? And something that I always tell my students is that don't put in here junior developer, okay? Because when people they just like put junior developer, they are just like diminishing themselves. So it's really not a good idea when people, they just like put junior developer, the other people on the other side, oh, this guy in here doesn't know almost nothing. So it's not a good idea to put junior. I never put this one, and I never recommend. Even I talk with other recruiters and they say that, yeah, when someone applies, putting a recruiter in there, a junior position in there, they know that. But this is just my opinion, okay? You can put whatever you want. So let's go back in here to the statement. So in here, I see so many people like committing these kind of mistakes. They say something in the lines of, I'm a web developer, I'm an excellent team player, I work well under pressure, many things like this. I'm very motivated, all these kind of things that it doesn't really matter, and people who are reading are like, right, I don't care about what you are saying in here. Right, okay, so try to stay away from these kind of things, that I'm a motivated person, I can work by myself, I work well in a team, all these kind of things that generally people put, but it's not a good idea, like I said. So what you want to put in here basically is telling who you are, okay, what kind of developer you are, and what kind of experience do you have. Obviously this kind of statement in here should be targeted to the company that you are trying to apply for. You should never put like a general thing. Like this that I was saying before, like a team player, work well under pressure. Put something that shows that what kind of skills do you have, what kind of experience. So I'm just gonna read in here what I put. I'm a front-end web developer. I've built several WordPress templates for small businesses. Right, okay, so this part in here, this is something, for example, that if I was gonna start out now as my first job, I would focus on building templates for WordPress, because there is so many companies out there trying to hire developers to build these kind of templates, and you just need to know front end, okay, to build these templates. There is so many tutorials out there on YouTube, on Udemy as well, on Treehouse. If you check, they have courses on these, how to build a template for WordPress. So this is like a huge weapon that you can use, okay? This is a really good thing that you can learn how to build WordPress templates, because if you know this, there is going to be a huge chance that you will get hired. And then I put in here for small businesses. This is, now imagine that you don't have previous experience in any other job. What you can do is go to your neighbor, he's a mechanic, or go to your other neighbor that he has a bakery, or he has a dentist clinic. So just go to these kind of people that live close to you, offer them your services, your friends. You can have a friend that is a DJ, you can have a friend that sell houses, or is a mechanic, or has a bakery. You will always have these kind of friends, people that you know, that you can build websites for their business. When you are starting out, you can even like do it for a little bit of money. Never do it for free, okay? But offer just a little bit of money, because you are just starting out and you need some experience, so you don't want to charge a lot. So this is where you can say, okay, I've built several WordPress templates for small businesses. Of course, this is just like what I recommend. You could put in here, I've built just like simple websites, okay? You don't have to put WordPress. Looking at the design, I can convert it into HTML and CSS templates with a pixel perfect precision. Here it is, another good point that I'm trying to transmit, which is I can look at the design that I have a design, a mock-up or something, and I can convert it into an HTML CSS template. There is, like I said, there is a lot of agencies, a lot of companies out there recruiting web developers to do these kind of jobs. And basically in here you just need to have knowledge of HTML and CSS, of course a bit of JavaScript, but that is not anything that is going to take you out of the way to these kind of jobs. So again, here it is, I'm just showing what I can do, giving my value, my experience. And another thing that I go through in here is I use Bootstrap very often, so the turnaround of my projects is very quick. Here it is again. Bootstrap is really important nowadays. There is a lot of people asking me, Telmo, should I still learn Bootstrap or not? And really my answer about this is that Bootstrap is used everywhere, okay? Because it helps you build websites so much faster than if you are starting everything from the ground up. All the companies that I've been working for, all my friends that are web developers, freelancers, everybody that I know, they use Bootstrap because it's just like a really good framework, has been tested so many times, works well in every kind of browsers. So basically everybody uses it, and if you have knowledge of it, it's gonna give you a really good advantage over other candidates. And really, when I say in here that I use Bootstrap very often, so the projects, I can finish the projects very fast. First, it gives me like a really good value, show that I know Bootstrap, and the second one is that I can finish projects fast, okay? Because it's gonna show that, look, this guy knows Bootstrap and he knows how to build websites and he can build them fast. And in here I just put, and I always use Git to track my progress and files, as well to collaborate with other developers. So here it is, another good point, Git, okay? Git is really important for you to know. Obviously is not like mandatory. I remember when I got my first job as a front-end web developer, I didn't know Git too much. I only knew a little bit the basics. But now I understand that other than, this is a lot of people asking me this, other than HTML, CSS and JavaScript, what else should I learn that is gonna give me a lot of value to other companies to hire me? And this is really Bootstrap, like I covered, and Git. this is the two things extra that I really recommend you to learn. And then I'm gonna put in here, currently I'm learning JavaScript and React. I'm just putting these as a way because I know that a lot of people out there, you know HTML and CSS, but you are still not very comfortable with JavaScript and React. But in here you can mention that you are working on them and you are learning them. Okay, so this is important. I remember when I started my first job, I didn't know too much JavaScript. I didn't even know React at that time. It was just like jQuery. But in here it's just saying that I'm learning it, and I'm looking for a position when I can progress and challenge my skills. So here is another great point, because you are looking for a position where you can progress. This is just showing whoever is reading this that you actually want to go to a company and progress in that company. Lots of companies, I mean the majority of the companies, if not all of them, when they hire someone that is actually a good fit, okay, sometimes they hire some people that they are not really great, but when they hire someone that has a really good personality, they are really good at what they are doing, you know, friendly, they have good skills, they want this person to stay in the company for as much time as possible. Nobody likes to lose like an employee. I mean, I'm talking about companies. Companies, they don't like to lose employees and have to restart another recruitment process. So when you say in here that you want to progress in the company, it shows like really that you are committed to go to that company and stay there for a long time. So this is a really good point in here. And another one in here is like to challenge my skills. They want to see that you want to learn more, you want to progress. So this is another really good point. Okay, I guess I spent a lot of time in here in this first section, but I guess these other sections in here is going to be a little bit more straightforward. Second part in here that I would put is about your skills. Put the skills that you think are your best ones that are gonna help you get a job. So in here I would put, for example, the most important ones like JavaScript, React. Like I mentioned in here, I'm just saying that I'm learning them, but I know the basics. So I will put in here that I know JavaScript, React, Bootstrap, Git, CSS and WordPress. All of these things, they are really good keywords for you to put and it's gonna stand out. Right, after you put your skills, what I recommend you to put, if you never had like a web developer job before, this is the first job that you are applying, I would put projects, okay, in the first place, because people are just reading from here from the top and we are going in here into projects. This is what they are gonna see after. And in here, I only put like 2 projects in here, but you should put up to 3. This is my recommended number. I mentioned this a lot of times. And in here, for example, I'm gonna put one project that I actually did on the Udacity Nano degree about website optimization. I think there is another similar project on the Treehouse Tech degree. But I'm just showing in here, for example, a website optimization project that could be, for example, you can put the time that it took you to build this project. You can put a link to the project. You should always host in your own host. I have a link in the description for a really good host if you don't have for your portfolio website and for all your projects. Check the link in the description if you don't have a host. It's really important for you to host the projects in some kind of host, and you can show them to people so they can see how they look like. So I would put in here a link to the project, and in here basically I should put like just a few points telling what is this project about. So I could put in here, for example, that I was just like increase the website speed from 80 to 96 on the Google page speed score. You can go on Google and just like test this out. Just Google it, Google page speed, and you can put any website that you want to test. and it's gonna give you like a score, like from 0 to 100, and of course the closest it is to 100 is the best. So I'll put in here after like minified and compress the files, optimize the critical rendering path to load the HTML page faster. In here I'm just saying that I could just like of course optimize the critical rendering path. It's just like, for example, if you can move the CSS links and the JavaScript links to not obstruct the loading of the HTML page. This is just an example. Of course, like I said, you can put your best projects in here. Another one that I put in here, for example, it would be like a social events website. Let's say for example that I have a neighbor or I have a friend that he organizes some kind of social events. It could be a party on your city or a party on your school, all these kind of things, and I would build a website for him or for her, it doesn't matter. And in here, for example, I would put create the full website template on WordPress. So in here it just shows, okay, I know how to build a website, and on WordPress, which is important. I improved the website design, which is now bringing more clients. I should put in here, for example, I improved the website design to bring, let's say, 5% more clients than what it used to be. It's always good to mention a value. And then I could put something in here like applied a weather API for users to know the weather. Let's say that in this website, it would be like for events on the outdoors. So if people can know the weather, they know if it's gonna be a good weather or not to go to this kind of event. And if you are mentioning in here that you are applying an API, so it means that you know how to work with APIs. All of these things are really important for you to really show the skills and what you can do. I'm just like putting a lot of nice keys in here that is attracting companies and recruiters. And then obviously we have the experience. I would put in here, imagine like I work on a coffee shop before. Try to put in here, for example, in your title, something a little bit more sophisticated. I wouldn't put in here, like I mentioned in some of my previous videos, just like sandwich maker or something. I would put something like a team member support, that I'm supporting the team leader and the manager. You know, a bit something a little bit more sophisticated. You can put like the time that you were in there. And then in here, something that a lot of people they take it wrong in here, which is basically, I'm just gonna put a little bit more. Yeah, I think like this you guys can see better. I would put something like this, for example. Just giving examples. You don't have to put in here. You never know. For example, oh Telmo, I was working in this coffee shop like you are showing in here, but I don't know what should I put in there. So the skills that you should put in here are the ones that you can actually transfer to your new job. So I'm giving you this example in here. I could say, for example, that I develop a system to increase the production of the number of sandwiches that I was doing. Imagine that, you know, this is just like a regular job of making sandwiches. But in here, I'm saying that I developed a system to increase the production of the number of sandwiches. And they can ask you about this in the interview, and you could just say that, oh, I saw how for example, more experienced team members they were doing, so I adapt their techniques and try to do it myself, and I could actually after an hour before I could make just only like 20 sandwiches, and after I did this technique, it could be that you are using your scoop faster, or you are just collecting more ingredients, whatever. This is just showing that you can actually optimize something that you are doing. And this is good because it shows that once you are going to be writing code, you can also optimize your code to make it faster, to be with less lines of code. this is a skill that you can transfer. It shows that you are someone who can optimize something, a working system. So this is a good point. Another one that I would put, for example, I helped new team members maintaining a high standard of operations. This is just to show, for example, that if you are working on a team, you could actually help other developers maintain a high standard of code. For example, in here, for example, in the sandwiches cases, is just to make sure, for example, that everybody is washing their hands, everybody is doing the sandwiches like really in the really good standards, and you are showing that if you are gonna translate this kind of skill to coding, you could be doing, for example, like I said, help your other colleagues, make sure that they are writing really good code, you know, modular, with comments, optimized. Another good skill in here that I would say that you could transfer from this job to a web developer job. And then another one in here, I could say, for example, that I consistently achieved the deadlines and goals set by my manager, which helped increase the shop revenue. Another good point in here, it says that you can actually go through deadlines and you know what, achieve them, because once you are going to be working on a web developer team, all of you guys will have deadlines and goals that you need to achieve, and you need to do everything within a time frame. So in here it shows that you are already someone who is used to this kind of environment, and you can work on this kind of environment. Like I said, this is just some examples that I would put for myself. Whatever job you have at the moment, or if you are just studying, you could put something else, okay? So yeah, this part is in here is covered. And then education, look at this. In education, I remember that I put only these kind of things. I put, for example, the team treehouse. I just put, for example, the front-end the front-end degree that they had before. You can even have it right now in the $25, I think. If you go to the tracks, there is the front-end track, there is the back-end track, there is all these kind of things. And you can actually go through it. Of course, you don't have the projects like in the tech degree, but you could go through it, and then you can even put, for example, a link to your page on the treehouse, so they can see your number of achievements and what you have been studying. I would put, for example, Udemy as well. Let's say, for example, if you bought some courses and you finished them, which is a really good thing, you could even put some links to the certificates showing that you have been through all these courses from Udemy. There is a lot of good value on Udemy, guys. I'm telling you this all the time. And then I would put, for example, Free Code Camp or Code Academy, just showing that you are actually committed and you are learning from a lot of different sources. You don't need any university degree to get a job. I've talked about this many times. I didn't have a university degree when I got my first job, and there is a lot more people. There is this guy called Chris Sean that I've even had an interview with him. That is also someone that didn't have computer science degree. There's this guy as well, Coding Phase. Everybody knows Chris Sean. These guys, they didn't have a computer science degree and they got jobs. So many other people. Just look on YouTube, just research online, and you will find it. And lastly, I have in here hobbies that a lot of people like to put. A lot of people, they like to put, I like to go walking, I like to go to the gym. And I'm gonna be honest with you, nobody cares about all these things in here. I would only put in here something as hobbies, like something like blogging, or if you are shooting YouTube videos. These two things, obviously you can just like do one of them. You can just do blogging, or you can just do YouTube. But if you do any one of them, it's going to increase your chances of going to the interview, and it's going to increase your chances of getting the job, because people can actually go into your YouTube channel or into blogging and know a little bit more about you. So there is going to be a connection established, okay? They will get to know you better, your personality, what are you learning, and all these kind of things. So this is I'm gonna be honest, when I got started for my first job, I didn't have anything of these. I didn't have a blog, I didn't have a YouTube channel, and still I got the job. There is more people like this. But I'm gonna tell you, after my first job, when I started my YouTube channel and I was starting to apply for other jobs, it really helped me, okay? And remember guys, these things in here, they are free. You can shoot YouTube videos for free, you can start blogs for free. It's just really another tool that is gonna help you get a job. If you really want to get a job, okay, you need to try things that you never tried before. So yeah, I guess that's it for this video, guys. I think I covered most of these things in here. Like I said, this is just a CV that I would write if I was just for myself, that I was applying for a job now that I never had a developer job before. Maybe there are people who will write these CVs even better, but this is just my take on it, and I'm just trying to help you guys out. And I'm gonna tell you, I got a lot of this knowledge, how to write all these things in here, from a guy that was working in recruitment in my last job, and he was giving me all these tips that I just covered with you guys, because I'm gonna tell you, I spent a lot of money on Fiverr, on Upwork, all these kind of websites. So I spent a lot of money paying people to write me a CV to apply, and it never worked, okay? The best thing is for you to write yourself. It's really important, this. Alright guys, I think that's it. If you have any other question about this, let me know in the comments down below. Give me a thumbs up if you like these kind of videos, or if you want to see any more of these kind of videos, let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel if this is your first video, and I'll see you in the next one.